Google Flow is an amazing tool to create AI-generated images and videos. But when you open it for the first time, it can be a little bit confusing because there are so many options in the platform. Good news is you don't need to learn every single feature to create great content. I spent so much time there and I spent hours researching and testing out, and honestly, you only need to understand a handful of things to be comfortable with the 80% of the platform. So instead of wasting hours watching tutorials and exploring every menu, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the basics. So in just few minutes, you'll know enough to create your own images and videos using Google Flow. So let's jump in. First, head over to Google Flow using the link in the description down below. Once you're inside, everything is organized into projects. To get started, simply click on New Project. At the bottom of the screen, you will see a prompt box. This is where you describe what you want Flow to create. Think of it as giving instructions to AI. Before typing your prompt, check the menu nearby. Here you can choose whether you want to generate an image or video. For this example, let's start with an image. You will also see options for aspect ratio. I'll choose 9:16 since it's great for vertical content like shorts, reels and TikToks. One thing I really like about Flow is you can decide how many versions of the image that you want AI to generate. For example, you can ask for 4 different outputs and pick your favorite. For this demo though, I'll keep it simple and generate just 2. Next, you will choose the image generation model. Depending on what's available, you might choose options like Nano Banana Pro, Nano Banana 2 or Imagen 4. I'll go with Nano Banana 2 for this example. And at the bottom, Flow shows how many credits the generation will use. Don't worry too much about the credits at the moment. Sometimes it will gonna cost credits and sometimes it will be free. In this case, the image generation is free, which is always nice. And that's it. With few settings selected, now we are ready to generate images in the Google Flow, and now we can describe what image we want Flow to generate. Again, we'll keep it simple. So I'll just say a girl reading a book. Once you entered your prompt, simply click the arrow button to start generating, and now you'll see Flow getting to work and creating both images. The first image has finished, so let's take a look at what it came up with. And honestly, this looks pretty good. I like the overall result and it did a nice job following the prompt. Now let me switch over and check the second image as well. Alright, the second one looks good too. Both are solid options, but for my project, I prefer this one. It's much closer to what I had in my mind. That being said, it's still not exactly perfect. There are a few things I like to adjust before using it. The great thing is that you don't have to start again from scratch. You can simply tell the Flow what changes you want. Right here in the prompt box, I can describe the edits I need, and Flow will update the image for me. It's almost like having a designer sitting next to you. You tell what you want to change and what differences that you want to make, and then AI will update, keeping the original image intact. This makes the creative process so much easier because you're refining and update the original image instead of constantly creating brand new images. So instead of green jersey, I tell it to turn green jersey into red, and then I can submit that change. Over here on the right, we can see the original image that was generated for us, and we can now see it generating our new edit. And here we go, the same exact image, but now the jersey is red. If I want to see the original one, I can click on right here on the original one and click back and forth to compare the two of them. But I really like this one, so I'll select that one and then click on the top right where it says done. So now we see we have the two images that were generated. So this one we didn't make any changes to. So it's exactly the way it was when you first generated it. And now we have this one which we made one edit to. Now that I have this image of a girl reading the book, I want to create another version of the same image, same girl with a different environment. So I'll come back down to this prompt box and I'll click on this plus icon. Here you will see all the media inside this project, which are two images that we have. I select the one of the girl image and click add to prompt. Now Flow is going to reference that image when it creates our new images. So I'll just tell it to create an image of the same girl in a garden. I don't need to change any settings, and then I'll click on send button. So now we have two images of the same girl, but now it's outside in a garden. Once again, I want to edit one of these images. So I'll click on this one and tell it to make winter. and now it's editing that image, and there we go. So I'm happy with that. So I'll click on the top right where it says done. So I want to make sure that this part is really clear. When you generate images, you will see all the images right here. We have image 1, 2, 3 and 4. If you want to create a new image, you come down to the prompt box and you can attach a prior image as a reference to make sure that you have the character consistency. If you want to edit an image, that's when you want actually click on the image and then you can describe what changes you want to make it down here. Again, over here on the right, you can see all the edits we made, but you can still think of this as one image. Whether it's a green jersey or a red jersey, it's still one image because when you click on done, you don't see both green and red jersey here. You only see the one. So clicking on the image and using the prompt box for editing and go to the menu bar and select an image for character consistency and referencing. So now we have 3 images of our girl and this 4th one which doesn't match because this was from the first generation. So I'll click on these 3 dots and I click on move to trash. And now we come to the second part. Let's create a video based on these images. So I'll come back down to the prompt box and I click on the plus icon and I'll select one of the images of the girl like this one and click add to prompt. Now on this menu, I'll move from image to video. Here there are 2 choices, frames or ingredients. For this video, I'll show you how to use ingredients, and ingredients are basically the inputs, and returning back to menu, you can select the aspect ratio. You want to make sure that the aspect ratio matches the aspect ratio of the reference image if you are using one. So since the reference image is 9:16, I'll select 9:16. Once again, you can select the number of output. For video, I really suggest to only do one because it uses more credits. Then you can select the generation model. Right now, Omni is the best, so I'll select one. And you can choose the length. The longer the video is, the more credit it's going to cost you. I'll go with 6 seconds. And you see right now, this will use 10 credits. But this can always change. Then of course you can describe what you want to happen in the video. So I'll put in the girl close the book and stand up, and then I'll send that along. Video generation can sometimes take a minute. Returning back to the flow, we can see that it is now done generating our video. So let's give it a watch together. And alright, pretty cute. Just like with the images, you can tell Flow in the prompt box what you want to change and it will always do the changes for you. But I am happy with this one. So I'll click on the top right here where it says done. And now we have one clip. Now let's say now we want to create a second clip and stitch that together with the first one. You can do that using the flow, and we'll start by generating a new clip. My idea is I want this girl to close the book, stand up and look through the window, and then suddenly it will cut to the busy, maybe autumn street view. So let's see how to do that. So we need that second clip of the busy street. So I'll just describe what that looks like. View of busy autumn street, peeping through the window, and the settings all looks good. I only need about 6 seconds and I'll click on submit. Now notice we don't have any reference image here, and that's okay. You don't need any reference images. You can just put in a text prompt and it will generate it based on that text. And now here is that video. Now let's put these things together. To do that, all you have to do is click right here and you can click on add clip. And now we'll select as the second clip for this video and one of the street view through window, and we'll click add to scene. And now creating the scene, you can see both videos now put together in the same timeline. And now let's watch the video. And I think that's perfect. So now I can click on the top right here where it says done. And if we click on the left here where it says scenes, we can see that video we just created. You could also find that under all media. So here are all the images, here are the 2 videos we generated, and here is the scene. To download any of these assets, you can do that by clicking on these 3 dots on the top right and hovering over download and choosing what resolution you want to download it. it works the same way for videos, but for scenes, it works a little bit differently. You first have to open up the scene and then you have to click on the download button from within here. And that will then put it together and export it for you. Now the workflow I just show you is very intentional. You can always start with generating your images and then you can move to the videos and then you can move to the scenes. This way you can use your credits efficiently and you can save your credits. Now let me show you a couple of other cool things you can do it with the flow. We'll start with new project for this one. And this time I'll click on the plus icon in the prompt box and I'll select avatar and choose my avatar. The first time that you do this, it will give you a QR code that you can scan with your phone and that will open up a web page there and you can actually scan your face. That will create your avatar and using this, you can insert yourself into scene. Now I'll add my avatar to the prompt and I'll say something like dressing as a princess walking in the garden in a fantasy world. You can choose to use your avatar with either images or videos. For this, since we are just having a little bit of fun, I select video and I'll leave it on 16:9. I just need about 6 seconds and I'll generate it. And now let's check out what it made for us.
This place is absolutely magical. I could stay here forever.
And that's so cool. We are almost there, so it can be very fun to play along with these tools and things. And finally, I want to show you Agent. If you click on Agent in the prompt box, this allows you to have conversation with an agent who will help you create your images or videos for you. So here I'm looking to create a short animated film for my friend, something cute and fun. And now I'll have back and forth conversation with the agent to work out exactly what this animated film will look like. So I might say that my friend loves dresses, jewelries, she loves fantasy worlds, and here it's giving me a couple of ideas: the overdressed adventurer, the goblin boutique, the cursed necklace. All of these ideas are really cool and I'll say I absolutely love that, so I select this one and then it will begin getting work on and it will generate images for you and it will generate videos for you, and this is a whole process, but you can get the help from the agent instead of manually doing it by yourself. Finally, let's talk about credits because Google Flow works on a credit system. As I showed you before, every generation costs a certain number of credits. Make sure you are going to check how many credits it's going to check you before you hit the generate button. To see how many credits you have left, you can click on the top right where it says the plan you have, and here you will see how many credits you have left. I currently have 10. The number of Google Flow credits you have depends on the Google AI plan you have. If you click on the number of credits you have, it will show your history and how you spent your credits. So just make sure to keep an eye on your credits before you burn through all your credits in the first week before they renew at the end of the month. So honestly, that's like 80% of the platform, and you know enough to create images and videos using the flow, and you can play with your avatars and you can get the help from the agent, and this is more than enough for you to get started. After getting started, when you go through this, then you can learn all the other new things as well. So I hope this video helped you. If you want to learn more about these kind of cool new AI tools, and if you think this video helps you, please consider subscribing. Let's meet with another video. Have a great week.